Excellency Ms. Rohi John, Minister of Environment.
The Gambia has once again made its presence felt globally. Earlier, the Minister of the Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources took part in the opening of the high-level segment at COP30, held at the conference hall in Belém, Brazil. The session brought together ministers and senior representatives from across the world, each presenting national statements that showcase their country's climate ambitions, progress, and the challenges they continue to face. Minister Rohi John Manjang highlighted the Gambia's continued commitment to climate resilience and called for stronger international cooperation, particularly to support countries most vulnerable to climate change.
Let us be reminded that the Gambia, though among the nations least responsible for global greenhouse gas emission, remains one of the most vulnerable to the devastating impacts of climate change. The Gambia underscores the urgency to move beyond theoretical ambitions to practical implementation of NDCs and is working to have a national climate change bill as an act now that will provide stronger legal framework on our climate action. Our climate ambitions depends on enabling conditions and means of implementation, including accessible finance, technology and capacity support to strengthen our national and local institutions for enhancing community resilience.
She also underscored the country's dedication to climate adaptation, sustainable development, and strengthening multilateral cooperation, stressing that adaptation is no longer optional but an urgent necessity for safeguarding lives.
Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, adaptation is no longer optional. It is an urgent necessity for safeguarding lives, livelihoods, and ecosystems, especially in the world's most climate vulnerable countries. As we conclude UAE Belém Work Program, the Gambia underscores that delivering the global goal on adaptation requires moving beyond planning to scaling of finance that is predictable and grant-based that enables real implementation on the ground.
Ministers from Africa, Europe, Asia, and the Americas also took to the podium, outlining their commitments and expectations ahead of the negotiations. Their statements collectively emphasized the urgency around accelerating climate action and the need for stronger global partnerships.
Over the past 10 years, a lot of progress has been made, but we need to do more. Sierra Leone stands before you today from the front line of a climate crisis that is hitting our people with increasing severity. Floods wipe out homes and livelihoods, landslides claim lives, rising seas continue to swallow islands and settlements and erode our coasts, unpredictable rainfall endangers food security, and extreme heat threatens the health and economic stability of millions. This is the daily reality of a country that has contributed almost nothing to this global crisis.
The high-level segment sets the political tone for the final stretch of negotiations, expected to conclude later this week. Minister Manjang joined her counterparts in reiterating the need for decisive collective action, especially to support vulnerable nations facing escalating climate threats.
We urge all parties to constructively decide on adaptation indicators delivered by experts and optionalize their implementation for tracking progress in achieving global goal climate resilience. Let us be clear, without accessible, reliable, and predictable climate finance, building resilience will remain to be mere aspirations. Therefore, the Gambia calls for an inclusion to have a significant increase in adaptation finance, particularly to LDCs and SEEDs, consistent with Article 9.4 of the Paris Agreement.
The mood here is one of urgency. Delegates are calling for bolder, faster action to limit global warming and protect communities already grappling with severe climate impact. The Gambian delegation will continue to participate actively in consultations throughout the week. Janke Toure, GRTS.